So today we have a Sony little color TV, and this one looks like it was in good condition. At one time, it's got a bunch of scratches and stuff on it, and I'm sure these scratches were because it was mishandled at its end of life. Which is kind of sad because this is a really nice TV, very well made TV. It's got a nice metal handle on the top. What's the model of it? It's definitely a Trinitron. It's very long. I believe it runs on batteries. Oh, this comes off. Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay. It's a KV 5300. A KV 5300. And I guess it could run on a battery. It has audio video inputs. Very nice looking TV. I mean, it's not in terrible condition. There's all the controls. But, you know, it has a bunch of scratches that probably were not on it before. Whoever owned it originally didn't care for it any longer. But I guess I wouldn't have ended up with it if that was the case. I can't get that back on right this second. I'll do that in a minute, I guess. I'm going to go ahead and get the camera set up. And then we'll plug it in and see if it does anything. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, so we'll go ahead and plug it in. Make sure the power switch is off because we don't know what it's going to do. Ah, vertical. What's the vertical hold? I don't want to burn the screen. Where's the brightness? There's brightness right here. Brightness doesn't have much of. Oh, there it goes. It's picture control. Alright, well, it's got a vertical problem. Well, now we know why whoever got rid of it, but still, I sure wish it was better handled before I got it. I like, you know, I don't know, I like when I collect things if I'm going to keep it. This one I probably would have kept, except that it's got scratches all over it now. It's not terrible, but this side looks good. The front looks okay. It's got a couple of little dingies over here. Looks like maybe somebody tried to remove this plastic. There's a couple little pieces of dirt floating around in there. I mean, it's not terrible. I've definitely seen a lot worse. It's got a little stand on the bottom too. You could stand it up. Nice looking TV. Anyway, let's open it up. Let's look at the top here first. It's got the controls. Let's get the light on over here. It's got controls. Picture bright color hue, vertical hold, and I guess this is for the. This is the no longer in use channel setting feature. Alright, TV and video. Alright, let's get her open. I'll go ahead and get the back off it, and we'll be right back. So this set actually uses a separate power supply, which is pretty hefty, which I guess is a good idea if you're going to run it on battery. You wouldn't have to carry this probably 3 or 4 pound transformer or whatever it is, and yeah, it feels like a transformer around with you. The set still has some heft to it, even though that's been removed. Probably a lead acid battery by the looks of it. I think in the 80s I remember having VCRs that used that long, that shape, that long with the battery with that same shape to it. That was a lead acid type battery. That was a long time ago. I wonder if you could still get those batteries. I bet you somebody still makes them. But today you could probably convert this to some kind of lithium. I wouldn't do it though. you wouldn't be able to charge it. Well, I guess again you could modify the charger to charge it. But it wouldn't be practical because you really can't even use the TV anyway. Oh, this comes off, okay. Alright, let's get that over to the side here. Alright, you know what? Let me go ahead and get the rest of the cabinet off and then I'll be back. Now I gotta say, the inside of this set looks new. There's not even any dirt in it. There's not even any dirt. What a shame. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say it's not really that beaten up, but it's a little bit. But I could say this does not, without a doubt, this does not have a ton of use on it. For sure. You know, especially around this block, it would definitely have dirt around it, and it doesn't. You know, it's got a little dust like on this little ledge right there, but nothing really to write home about. Alright, so it's got a vertical issue, so where's vertical? Some of these had a circuit board across the bottom, but I don't think this one does because it's got the battery going in there, so it's probably here. So here's vertical hold, but that doesn't mean anything because, you know, they could remote the circuit. Or the vertical hold control because they want all the controls in the same place. Do we have any clues? Let's look for some clues. I didn't look for a schematic for this. If it has a complicated problem, we'll go ahead and do that. Obviously, this right here is a tuner. So there's a tuner at the bottom. Look at this right here. The feature is not in the set, but there was a model or a version of the set had a feature where you could change the scan, and it's UK or CCIR, but there's some components in that area missing, so this set doesn't have that feature, but not that we would need it here. But that would have been cool just to have a set that had that scan capability. But I guess some markets, they did do that. Alright, well, let's see. What's on the top here? Well, what's on the back? Let's see what's on the back. So, red. This is the video. Maybe the video outputs are on here. I see some transistors that are on the other side. Let's see what's on the top. This is hinged. So, on the left here, this looks like the flyback for sure, and it shows voltages on the printed circuit. So we could do that as a very easy test since it actually shows it. But we know the B plus is that because the set comes on. No vertical. More than likely, it's going to be a vertical output or a vertical driver. Some of these sets, I remember. Years back, I remember working on some models. I don't remember if I worked on this exact one, but some of them had an IC. And this is, I mean, this has a lot of IC, so this is probably one of those that has an IC. And I may even have some parts for this set because I have a bunch of Sony parts. And that wouldn't really help someone else because you probably can't get most of the parts for these sets anymore, which is really, you know, I don't know. I guess you got to move on, right? Everybody, you know, you get technology. There's new technology for new technology, and we just have to adopt it. And you know, new technology is definitely better, but let's see. There's an IC right here. That could be. There's a transistor. I don't see anything on a heatsink. I would hope that there would be something on a heatsink. Now, I could tell you this right here, that looks like a horizontal drive transformer, and that's more than likely the horizontal winding. So I don't know, there's pin bias. So this is horizontal. Interesting. Where's the vertical output transistors or IC? Where would it be? Could it be that? We'll have to take a look. I mean, I guess we can get a. Let's look at some of the controls. You got pin drive, pin bias. Boy, I'd love to see vertical height control somewhere. That would make me happy right now if I saw vertical height, vertical linearity. Who knows if these sets even have that in them. Low V adjust. Maybe that could be, and to think immediately vertical, but here's vertical linearity. Okay, so there you go. So that IC more than likely is vertical, and it's a UPC 1031 H2. So it's a UPC 1031. We could look for the pinout. We could look for pinout. You know, I have an ECG book here somewhere. Let me get the ECG book and oops. So here it's a UPC 1031, and this is the ECG. What year is it? 19th edition. I don't know. Probably one of the last ones. I got it out of a TV shop that closed up locally here. That I helped them clear it out, and they gave me a bunch of the stuff. What did I say? What did I say it was? 1301 UPC. What is it? A UPC 1031. 1031. I'm sorry. So UPC 111020281031H is ECG 1245, which is very surprising it's in there, but it is actually in there. So we can look at the nice thing about these books is they have a they have diagrams of the ICs. What did I say? 1245. Is that what I said? No, I talk and I forget. That's funny. I forget what it was now. 10. What did I? No, I'm going nuts. I gotta concentrate. So it's a UPC 1031H. You'll see, guys. You get older, that's what happens. 1031H. So it's 1245. 1245. All right. Let's see. Too far. Too far. ECG 12 is 14. 18. Where is it? 1800. Let's see. Am I in the right place here? 1245. It's 1240. Here it is right here. ECG 1245. And it's a vertical deflection IC, so we know that's definitely it. So we could definitely either use a scope. There's no voltages or anything, but we know pin 2 is voltage control, so we could at least do that. We could at least do that with a voltmeter. We'll do that real quick, just see if there's any voltage on that pin. I don't want to keep putting my arms in front of the camera here. Alright. Let's plug her in real quick. Where's the, let's see. Okay. So, it's so hard to do this when you don't have like 10 people to hold cameras and stuff for you, but I'm trying. I'm trying. Alright, so it said pin 2 was VCC, and let's see. It's going to be one or the other on either side, so I just don't want to burn that CRT. Alright, so let's see. pin 2. And we got, well, is that right? Let's see, this one. We got 12 volts DC on pin 2. 12 volts DC on pin 2. So the voltage is getting to it. We could scope. It shows us, here's the vertical hold control, vertical size control. So this has everything in it. So pin 1 is vertical out, and what we could do, let me see if I have at least a times 10 probe. Preferably, you know, when you're dealing with voltages, you want to use a high multiplier probe. Maybe times 10 at least, but you know, the higher the voltage, the more susceptible. Here's a, well, this one's sealed. I don't want to open that one just yet. Let me see, let me find a good, I guess it doesn't matter though. I thought I had oh, let's see, what are you, here's a B&K. I've got so many different oscilloscope probes. Okay, this one should work fine. This is a times 10. This will work. I have a portable fluke scope, which I think I'm going to set up here. I'm going to use it. It's safer. I do have an isolation transformer. If you're using, if you're going to test equipment, especially old radios that have hot chassis, you want to use an isolation transformer. But if you use a portable scope that's not connected to the AC line, you know, you don't have really much to worry about. Now I don't have a ground on this. I guess you don't need a ground. It should still. It would be better if we put a ground on it. I'll see if I can grab a ground connection here. Put it in there. Ooh, all right. We can probably clip it to right here if it'll reach. I don't want it coming off and playing with the circuit board. I'm just going to hold it on pin 1. Here's pin 1 is right here. It said pin 1 was output, right? So 1245. Vertical output is definitely, oh, you see it right here? Right there. Where is it? Right here. Vertical out is pin 1. So pin 1, let's flip it on. Actually, you know what? Let's do that first. Hit auto set so I don't have to deal with that. Well, the odd thing is I don't know if you could see that or not. You know, let me go ahead and pull this. Hang on a second. Let me go ahead and pull the camera if I could show you what's going on the scope. I'm just so not set up with this. It's not funny, but we're getting better at this. All right, so pin 1. This is what we got on pin 1. This is what we got on pin 1, which actually looks like a very good trace for vertical output. So that doesn't make sense. If we've got vertical output, that means something, maybe the yoke is bad. Maybe the yoke has got an issue. We'll have to check the windings on the yoke. That'll be next. So we're going to go ahead. Let me set the camera back up, and then I'll be right back, and we'll check. We'll find the yoke windings and check the yoke windings. Okay. All right. So in this set here, this here is, well, you can see this red and blue, and the red and blue is on that side. So we know that's going to be horizontal. This is going to be the vertical windings of the yoke. And let's see. All right, so 158 megs. That seems like the yoke is open. That's really bad because, well, that's 104 megs. That's really not good, because where would you get a yoke for this set? Well, can you see that? It reads 100 and something megs. So the yoke windings are open. How could that possibly happen? You know, I've seen that happen with like older electronics, with transformers, where the copper gets all rotten. Let me unplug the set. You know, it's still plugged, although it's off, but it's still plugged in. I've seen it where, you know, the copper gets rotten, but we got some loose wires. Here's the wires that go into the vertical. Well, you know, if you start messing with this, I certainly don't want to pull any of the stuff off, because it'd probably be a nightmare to get it set up again. So I don't want to pull it all off. So I'm going to try. Let's try to just resolder the connections on there. I don't, you know, I'm trying to, if I can get in there. The yoke winding is definitely open. So, yeah, so there's two, it looks like it could be a double. Well, that's strange. It looks like it's a double winding, so sometimes they'll do that. They'll have two sets of windings that are identical. So why would two? How could two of them be open? That, unless it blew open, unless something happened, maybe that IC shorted. But no, it had a good vertical out. That was a good trace. So that's, no, that chip is working. That chip is definitely working. That chip is definitely working. You know, we're going to do something that's a little crazy. I saw Shango 066. He actually took a speaker and he connected it to the vertical windings, and you can hear the sound, that sound of the vertical through the speaker. So I'm going to grab a speaker and we're going to do that, and that'll tell us for sure that the signal is getting to those wires. So hang on, I'll be right back. I'm going to grab a speaker. Alright, so we got a nice speaker right here. It's a Bose speaker, so if we're going to blow something up, better a Bose. Look at that. Is that a date code of 1990 on there? I don't know what this came out of. I got a box, or a couple of boxes full of speakers that I grabbed that out of. So I guess we should make sure it's good first. Who knows? Who knows why it was taken out of something, right? You know how I like to check a speaker. We're going to do it with a battery. Let's see. I don't know if this. Let's see if this battery's any good. Here's one just happens to be laying right here. Yep, she's a good. Let's do a stronger battery. I don't know how many ohms this speaker is. Oh, look at that go. Look at that. Yeah, it's a good speaker. Alright. To avoid destruction of anything, including the speaker, we're going to put a cap, a little non-polarized. This is 10. We're just going to do it for a second, but you don't want to connect the speaker directly to the vertical output. The pulses are probably too high for most speakers, and it'll probably just blow it up. So you want to do this through using a capacitor. But this is Shango. Shango 066 did this, and man, I'll tell you that it seems kind of crazy, but that's a great idea. That's a great idea, just to see that the pulses are there. So this is his thing. This isn't my thing. This is Shango. Let's move this book out of the way so we don't destroy it. I don't know. We can't get these books anymore. But yeah, I gotta say, it's great. It's such a great idea. Anyway. Alright, so let's go ahead and see if I can get the... Let's move this up a bit. We can get from the top here. Hang on. see if we can do it. That'll work out better from the top. You can just kind of see what I'm doing. Alright. If I can get my hand in there, let's see, I can maybe use a long nose plier. Some of these Chinese jump leads here, these alligator leads, or croc clips, whatever people call them, they're so hard to push, and you can't, you just can't get them on. Come on. Alright. Ah, come on. Only because I'm filming, I can't get it on. Alright, there's one. I think on the other one we're just going to touch it on there. Alright, let's see. Let's put the power back in here. Where's the... Oh, it came off. Get back on there. It's just like a very tiny spot for it to... You know what? Maybe I can do it up on the top here. It's this one right here. You just do it without it touching it. Oh, look at that! The wire came off. You believe this is what I mean about these? Oh, hang on a second. Hang on. This is what I mean. You know, these ridiculous Chinese clips. All right, so I just I got the one on the alligator clip, but I soldered the other one on there. It's connected here to the speaker. Let's see what we got. Nothing. Still a vertical line or a horizontal line. Means no vertical. We got no noise through the speaker. It's funny that we have that. We have the pulse, but we don't have output. So maybe the yoke is good. That's weird, but the yoke checked. That's interesting. The yoke did... Let me unplug this. The yoke did check very high resistance, so I don't understand. I don't get it. Let me try that again. Maybe... Let's get that yoke. Yoke! Well, now it's reading 23 ohms. So maybe I just didn't have a good connection on there. Can you see the meter in the corner of the screen there? So now, I don't know what happened before. Now it's reading 23 ohms, so... Alright, well, it's actually good. The yoke being good is a good thing. So, we could do... Well, let's take a look at the, what could we do with the IC? Could we do anything else without having a schematic? Vertical sync input, I guess we could look at that and see if we have a signal coming in. You know, I'm wondering with clamping, did I have it on pin 1 or pin 10? Could I have made that mistake? Did anybody see? Did I make that mistake? I could have had it on pin 10. It's possible, very possible. I am amateur at this. It's marked on the board 1. I don't remember which pin I had it on, but I guess we could do it again anyway. We could do it again, just real quick, and see what happens. Let's see. Can we see the scope on there? Yeah, it's kind of hard to see the scope from that direction. Alright, so we're going to turn the set on again. Let's see. And we'll get the ground connection on. Okay, we got the ground connection on. You know what, I actually had, so that's pin 10 actually, and that's pin 1 right there, and you got nothing on pin 1. Alright, so I actually had it backwards. I think, you know, I don't even know. I don't even know if I had it backwards. Actually, no. Pin 1. Pin 1. Pin 1. You know, it shows. I don't know if that's a 1 for the IC or for the component next to it, but it shows a 1 right there. I don't, and I was assuming, but I don't, you know what, I'm going to see if I have the IC. It's possible I have it, and it's just going to be easy to change, so we can just do that. We can just go ahead and change it, and we'll see if that fixes it. Alright, I'll be right back. Let me see if I have it. I'll be right back. Alright, so this is a drawer of parts that I had gotten from a TV shop, and there's all kinds of Sony. I mean, there were just tons of Sony parts in these bins. A bunch of caps in there too. We got a dump load of these STK. Here's an STK 8770, but there's a whole bunch of these STKs, and these are real ones. These aren't the fake crap that you get today. Here's some more STKs. I don't know what those are. I'm not looking for STK now anyway. There's an AN. I think. Let's see, what do we got in this? This has got some. Can we get it out of there? Can we get you out of there? What is that? I don't know what that is. It's a transistor anyway. Another transistor. Another transistor. I think that's it right there. What is that? UPC 1031. You know what? I knew I saw it. So we probably have more than one in here. But all we need is one. So I wonder if you can get the the ECG part. I wonder if that's still available. I'll show you some of the things that are in here. It's kind of funny because they used to work on VCRs. So here's those. Does anybody remember these things? These are the little emitters on the that would sense the tape in a VCR. I can't get the drawers open. There's little gears. Here you go. Here's some old Panasonic parts. I recognize the blue. Probably all no good. I can see a lot of things had changed color. Here's a take-up gear. So this company was an authorized service for Panasonic. His MCM. Look at that. I don't even think they're in business anymore, are they? What is that? More Panasonic. Alright, I guess we don't have to look at that now. But anyway, so that looks like it. So we're gonna go ahead. We'll go ahead and try to change that, and let's see what happens. We're gonna use the desoldering tool to get it out. The best thing to do is usually to add a little extra new solder on it. But this one looks like it's got a lot of solder on there to begin with. Well, let's see how it goes. If it gives me some trouble, I'll do that. Yeah, we may need to do that. Just add a little extra solder. We'll freshen it up a bit so it just makes it easier to get the chip out. You know, so I read comments. I read all the comments actually, and some people like to see what I actually do to make this stuff work, and some people say just get to the point. So I never really know, but I guess I'll just do it. Makes me feel good at the time, because I know the videos can get really long. I get it. And some people may have a TV with the problem or radio with the problem, and they just want to get it fixed. And that's good too. I want to help. I'd like to help people if I can. But I don't know. You can always fast forward through all these boring parts, I guess, and just get right to the fix too. I love this desoldering pump. It works so well. And this is an old, you can see that, it's an old Hacko 807. I like the, you know, it's not the gun type. They did make the same one in a gun type. Turn it off, I don't want to waste. I got that from a TV shop, and they were so nice to me actually to let me take all that stuff. But that's a really nice unit. That desoldering thing is really, really nice. Alright. So you know what? I mean, I guess to save a little bit of time, I'm going to go ahead and I'll get this other one soldered in, and we'll get it soldered in, and then I'll come right back. I'll come right back. Or at least when I get it started. Okay, hang on. You know what? I'm just going to put it in. You guys could watch me put it in. Even if it's boring, you could just skip through it. So, maybe I'll bend the pin out a little bit so it doesn't fall. Alright, looks good, looks good. And then we'll try the Shango. Can you see me in the screen there? I don't want to... Alright. Yeah, looks good. Looks very good, very good. Oh! Alright, let's see. It's kind of, Alright, you know what? I need to unplug. I don't know if it's a good idea to have the yoke connected with the speaker, so we'll put that off to the side for a second. The blue, that's a blue and brown, I mean yellow and brown, yellow and brown, yellow and brown, yellow and brown. Alright, so we got it connected to the speaker. Look at that connect. Oh, I ruined the connection. I know. You know, this is just so crazy. This is absolutely crazy. These ridiculous Chinese clips. I think I'm done with them after that. I'm just going to throw them all in the trash because they just don't. They're just no good. And you know, if you're working on something and you're relying on it, it becomes a problem. So say goodbye. After this, these are all going in the trash. Just absolutely crazy. Make sure nothing's shorted. There it is. That's the Shango vertical output sound. I'll tell you, it's unreal. Let's disconnect this and see if we got a full picture. Which I'm sure we do now, since we got that the vertical sound out of the speaker. Let me resolder this. What I soldered over here, because we never know if I messed it up or not. All right, it looks good. It looks good. All right, so let's put plug the yoke plug back in here. Make sure nothing's shorted there, everything out of the way, speaker out of the way. I'll tell you, it's funny that that's such a simple thing to do and to check for vertical. But it works, it's very effective, it actually works. Alright, so here we go. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Oh, look, there it is. It's coming up. It's very dark. Which was the brightness? There it is. Oh, there's like a bar in the middle though. I don't know what that's all about. Actually, well... Alright. Let's get the speaker out of here. Let's put this on the floor for right now. You stay right there. You get out of the way. So we had a bad UPC 1031H. Let's go ahead and get a converter box hooked up and see if we got a picture. Here just so happens to be a converter box, and I'm pretty sure that, let's see if a lot of these Sonys use the have the 1/4 inch plug like this on there, so I bet you this one does too. This one's kind of hard to move around because it's got that power pack. So we got video in. I don't know what we got here. Hold on. Video out, video in. Let me grab the camera off the tripod. Hang on. So, video, audio in. I don't know. Is this antenna at the bottom there? Is that what that is? I don't know. I guess we could plug it in. It's not going to hurt, will it? I don't know if that's what that is or not. Let's, oh, it's doing something. I see something there now. I guess it's on. Okay, we just needed to tune the channel there. Let's do that. Okay. Vertical. There it is. Look at that. All right. We're almost there. Looks like we got it. Looks like we got it. Let's get a an antenna hooked up to this thing. There you go. Look at that. She's working.
Plunged to 892 millibars, making it the 3rd strongest hurricane ever recorded in the Atlantic.
I guess that's brightness. I got the top off so I can't see. That must be color. That must be tint. Let's put everything in the middle.
Storms this intense rarely make landfall anywhere.
Vertical.
Melissa is now the strongest
I
hurricane
don't know what that is.
this year, surpassing Super Typhoon
Color.
Ragasa, which peaked at 165 miles per hour.
It's got a pretty nice looking picture.
It caused more than $2 billion in damage, killing more than 150 people. Even before it made landfall, heavy
That's it. It looks good.
to 3 deaths in Jamaica and 4 in Hispaniola. Melissa is also the
Wonder if we can get another channel out of this thing.
one. Melissa far surpasses the intensity of her.
But also your grandfather. We played Little League, so my dad was involved in Little League, and he played Little League, so my grandfather was involved in it, and now, I have kids playing Garrett Henderson.
Well, Jason, you're not just
Where is the, let's see. One of them was picture, but I don't know which one.
to the Fox 5.
That must be picture control right there. It's definitely color.
Why did you guys write in?
Coaching baseball and everything.
Alright, let's see what else.
Perfect fit for it.
2017.
And when they come out to the field,
It's yours, free. And this deal gets even better.
Look, it's yours free.
Get it all with free shipping. That's right, free shipping.
I am so confident in the quality of my
Nice set. I like this TV.
incredible 5-year VIP
Ooh.
elite service
Don't want to do that again. That was a horizontal pulse I felt. You know, I know it was horizontal pulse. That little shock I got because
no charge.
I felt it dig. You know that because the high frequency really gets you.
Absolutely nothing
to get that board back. I guess I can shut it off and put. Let's shut it off, put it back together, and then play with a little. I think we're good. I think that's it. I think we're good. So let me put it back together, and I will be right back. Just to be clear and let everybody know that the part I replaced was IC551, and it was a UPC 1031H, which in turn crosses to an ECG 1245 if you can get the ECG part. So it must be a common part if it crosses to an ECG. But I got the chassis back together. That's kind of what I was concerned about. I don't want anything to short after all that work, and then we do something stupid and you blow it up. Because I know one thing about Sony TVs. You make one mistake and you cause, literally could be hundreds of dollars in component damage. It's just crazy. Anyway, again, like I said earlier, the set looks so clean inside. It certainly doesn't have a lot of usage on it. That scratch bugs me. I wish it didn't have it, but oh well. Maybe we may keep this one, I don't know. I'd like to maybe make some kind of a display somewhere and have a lot of this junk that I've repaired displayed. But, you know, like I said in previous videos, I can't keep it all, and the stuff just keeps flowing in. I'm going to be going to another estate sale. I think it was on the, I can't remember, the 8th or the 10th or something like that. So I'm going to try to record it if I can, if they let me do it. This girl that does the curating, she's kind of a stickler when it comes to that. But whatever, we'll see. You know what, let's plug it back in. I guess this is good enough. I could put the cabinet back on. Should I do that? Should I put the cabinet back on? And have it all? Yeah, let's do it. Let's put it all back together. We're done really looking at the inside. There's really not much real to look at anymore. This set, you're looking at the back side of all the PC boards. So, alright, give me 1 second. Here we are with the, well, it's got a piece of dirt sitting inside right there on the screen that really needs to come out of there. Really needs to come out of there.
Furnished by Wounded Warrior Project.
And now it's down here. I guess the high voltage kind of pushed it down a little bit, but that's alright. I'll open it up and get it out at some point. Anyway, that's it right there. Good looking set. Needs to be cleaned up just a little bit, but it's okay.
Some of those incredible stories of courage.
I guess we could try to scan the channels here. I don't know. We could here's the news, I guess. Let's get that to look a little better. It's kind of interesting the way that you open the door here to get the controls. Just kind of hangs off the side, but let's try to widen it a little. We can watch me turn controls. There you go. Look at that. You can watch me turn the controls. So this is vertical, obviously. Color. Nice grayscale. It's got a good tube, but you know, it definitely doesn't look like it was used that much. So was that one's brightness right here. And this is
Hey, good morning too. Let's take a look right now at our tropical satellite.
Picture control, which is basically contrast.
Strongest hurricane on record for them.
I guess we could see.
They believe this is the third strongest Atlantic hurricane that has been rolling through.
We got a hurricane going on.
Right now,
definitely not here.
Life-threatening flash.
Let's see what's on. What else? We can just skim through the channels here real quick. Let's zoom in a little.
Artificial atmosphere to this engine with a turbocharger.
Now there aren't really
engines. turbo.
Save money, but our coverage.
Turbocharger. So a turbocharger in a car can allow you to get more gas, more air into the engine, because you know the mixtures have to be precise for it to burn, for the fuel to burn properly. But on an airplane, you have a turbocharger, and with the turbocharger, its main function is to allow the engine to operate at higher altitudes where air is very thin.
With original Medicare, you're covered for
Hey, look,
hospital stays,
Humana.
doctor
Ooh.
office visits, but you have to meet a deductible for each. And
You
then you're
have
still
to
responsible
meet. You
for
have to meet.
20% of the cost.
Something tells me
Next.
you have to meet more than a deductible. I don't know why.
Sacrificial kind of love. The other is phileo love, like we get
Hey, filet of love.
Another piece of silverware.
Searching, nothing. Nothing. What about Channel 10?
And we heard a terrible
Cartoons.
Okay, so this was a bedroom.
Was a bedroom, but now, as you can see, lots of storage.
Okay.
I'll tell you, that looks like my workshop.
They're right over there.
Lots of clutter.
Their letters changed constantly.
I get a lot of comments saying that where do I get so many cool things? Or somebody had called them jewels, which I agree. I am pretty lucky that I was able to get some of the stuff that I got, but I have to say, when you start doing this stuff, a lot of times this stuff just finds you.
I took a deep breath,
Um,
let it out,
to me,
again trembling.
and I'm sure to a lot of people who watch this video, are thinking, yeah, you know, I know if I had that, I would have a use for it or whatever. But a lot of times, you know, especially at these estate sales, what I noticed is a lot of times someone will have passed away and the family is dealing with whatever they had left behind, and they just don't know what to do with the stuff. And in some cases, you know, they have a sale, they just put a price and sell it, and that's the end of it. But the people that I'm dealing with, there's two different companies that so far, that one had contacted me through this person, but the girl, the first person, they have a concern with people taking this stuff and possibly causing injury to themselves or whatever. So, which is, you know, I mean, I don't know why they would be liable for it, but they were a little concerned with that. So to them, me coming around and just taking it all was, I guess, like a godsend to them, because they didn't have to worry about it and they didn't have to get rid of it. And, you know, for me, I paid a little bit of money, and that's it. You know, I just grabbed it all, and now it's my problem. And for the most part, I got some good stuff. There's also junk, obviously, but I didn't want it to, you know, I wasn't going to sit there and go through, and that's my thing. I don't want to sit there and piecemeal, and it seems you always, if you want to get better deals, you take it all. You take their liabilities, you take the good stuff, you take everything. Because if you're just going to take the good stuff, in most cases, I think what winds up happening is they'll feel, well, if you're just going to take the good stuff and I still have to deal with the rest, why? You know, what's the point? So it seems to work for me anyway. So that's how I get a lot of this stuff. Is if I go in somewhere and I see a few things, I ask, what do you got? I'll take everything you've got, because most of the time they won't even mention. If they think that they have something that's not worth anything, which you may think it's worth something, but if they think it's just trash, they won't even tell you they have it. So that's one of the first things that I would do, is just ask that question. Hey, well, what do you got? Even if whatever it is, I just want to see everything. I'll just take it all. And, you know, in the instances that I've had, it seems that it was like a relief to them that I had wanted to come and take it all. I had a family member had said to me, a daughter that of a guy that had passed away had said to me, well, now we didn't know what we were going to do. We just assumed we would call maybe an e-waste company and they would just take it all. And I guess they did. Now, this one girl had told me they had called a company and they wanted to charge them to take the stuff. And they would come down and give them an estimate on how much it was going to cost. And so for me to come in and offer money to take it seemed like a great deal for them. But I think that's a good way to do it, and I've been lucky so far. If you can call it luck, you know. I mean, I do have a lot of stuff that I got to still go through, and we're getting pretty cluttered. Now I'm going to go to another sale, and there's going to be even more. Eventually it gets to a point where you can't move. You know, you're so cluttered you can't do anything. It becomes impractical. But then again, sometimes you get a nice set like this one. Like, you know, well, I mean, not really much you could do with this set. Nobody's really going to use it, but for me, let's go back to channel 3 here. Hey, 1313 Mockingbird Lane. That's the house of the Munsters.
Or you guys say.
Misha says my mother has been taking Omega XL for 15 years, and it gave
Omega XL. There you go. There's
and Ken, I know that's when we
I wonder what that stuff costs every month for you to take it, and I wonder if it really works.
Because we hear it over and over.
Not for nothing. I've taken supplements. I've taken all kinds of those things, and my personal opinion, I've never had a good result. I don't know. I've never had pains go away. I've never felt better. I never did a hop, skip, and a jump in front of my door. It just never happened. I'm sorry. If there was an instance where something actually worked, I'd be the first one there to support it, but sorry. Anyway, we're back to channel 3. The set looks like it's working good. Let's get I don't know what I don't know what they consider. I guess Trump wouldn't be copyright.
Tuesday, House Speaker Mike Johnson says he talked to the president about the possibility, but Johnson did admit that there's no legal way.
So, to recap here, the set had a bad vertical IC, and we used the Shango method. We use the Shango method with a speaker connected to the vertical output wires going to the yoke to hear the vertical sound on the speaker. You know, it's amazing to me something that simple works so well, but it really doesn't. If you don't have a scope or whatever, you don't have equipment, you can always, there's always a way, right? It's actually pretty cool. But that was, again, that was Shango 066 that had done that, and I watched the video where he had done that. And I just thought, you know, wow, I gave it a try. It works pretty good. Anyway, I guess that's it for this one. Looks good. The set works good. It'll go on the shelf with all the others. I have a couple more these little micro TVs that we could go through. Some of them not in very good condition. I have a black and white one. I've only been doing the color ones. I have a black and white one that it's in like a some kind of little carrying case thing. Looks like a cosmetics bag or cosmetics case. Maybe we'll work on that one next. I don't know. But I like these little, because they're small. They're not, you know, easy to store, so they're not so bad. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Be happy, stay safe, and I'll catch you on the next one.